avenged me. I was like, you just fucking burnt my butthole.
Make them think it was their idea. But that's what you have to do in this life. You have to make other people think it was their idea.
You're like, unfollow.
I was like, what the fuck? How
many times do I have to say that I was fucking institutionalized? How many times?
Falling in love. Okay, so is it falling in love?
I don't fucking know.
Hi, welcome back to Not For Everyone. We are an existential commentary podcast hosted by one hater and one lover. My name's Jess, I'm the lover.
My name's Caroline, I'm the hater. I don't know where to look. Do I look at you?
Me neither. I want to look at you, but there's a camera and there's computers and I'm going to be looking at my phone for some notes.
Yeah, I'm going to say I feel like when I think about other people doing podcasts and shit that's filming, they look at each other.
Yeah, they
We're
do.
having conversations.
We're polite.
It's about the connection.
Yeah, it's for a person.
And I might throw one look or two to the camera.
Okay, like a Jim Halpert moment.
Yeah.
Breaking the fourth wall. If you're listening auditorily, we are in person recording in Caroline's apartment together in DC. So the video is on YouTube and we're kind of like, we have a new setup. We're really not used to sitting across from each other.
Yeah, I'm like really mesmerized by your eyes.
Oh!
And by your words not being with a delay.
Yeah, that is nice. But I don't know if I'm ready to think fast enough.
No.
Yeah, I needed that Zoom delay.
It's really banking on the Zoom delay.
How the heck are you? Thanks for this coffee.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Mm-hmm.
I'm better now. I was in like not a great mood when Jess walked in and I didn't want to dump it all on the podcast, but Jess just lifted me up so hard and now I'm a fucking delight. Had I brought you down though?
No, not at all.
Oh.
Not at all. I told you the only thing today is that I just haven't had enough coffee and you supplied that and I'm ready to go.
Wow.
Yeah. Why do you seem so tall?
Because I'm sitting on my foot.
Okay. If you insist. Today we're going to do Whatadados, but I think before we do Whatadados...
My blood pressure's already up to here.
I know.
Once I start thinking about Whatadados, I'm like, first of all,
you're all wrong. You're all living wrong.
It's so upsetting. It's so upset.
No, but I'm pretty excited because I feel like when we did them last time, we jam-packed a million of them into one episode, which is not our intention for this one. We're going to have a more calm, cool, collected, just a 2 or 3 what-to-do approach.
Let's make it 2.
And and I always like it because sometimes we see it differently. Like our advice to the person is a little bit different. So, I don't know, I'm curious. And I'm curious what your fired up energy is going to bring to that too.
Yeah. And I curious to you.
I
to you.
Okay, should we jump in? Do you have things you want to like talk about first? You said you have notes.
Oh, I have notes on the Whatadados.
Okay.
I don't know. You would start with a little chit chat.
Yeah. Okay, I do want to say, and I've already told you about this like 3 times, but I do want to say it here because I promised. This week in DC, the first thing that happened when I landed is that I went to a coffee shop with my sister and the barista recognized me from the podcast. And I told her I would give her a shout out. So her name is Grace. And you made my day, and you made my week, and I'm gonna be thinking about you for my whole life. And Grace, you'll never get rid of me. I love you, Grace.
Grace, I will make you regret the day you ever dared to recognize me in a fleeting moment.
I know. And I will make the rest of you fear it. So, yeah.
Fear.
This is what's gonna happen if you shout me out. If you find me, I'm gonna shout you out, and I'm gonna be in love with you for my whole life.
To be recognized visually from a podcast.
It was cool.
Kudos to you. It really speaks to the power of your eyebrows.
Thank you for saying that. My dad thought that it was just my voice. He was like, she recognized you from your voice? And
probably
I was
not,
like,
Dad. Probably not.
No, I think she probably follows the Instagram or something. He was like, your voice was it? And I was like, okay, Dad, yeah.
So your
voice of a generation. Yeah, so that was just a quick up top mention to Grace,
nice.
The love of my life.
I love
and, yeah, how about you?
What the hell else? I wanted to submit an official correction. In our last episode, we were talking about My Little Pony, aka Jim Guy,
aka Sweetie Pie.
Aka Sweetie Pie. I think to you he's Sweetie Pie. To me, I'm only ever gonna call this man My Little Pony.
Okay.
And but he's both. Mm-hmm. And I said that because you go on Sweetie Pie immediately, and I was like, that's one of the My Little Pony names. But so then I had to go Google My Little Pony, which I didn't play with, but my little sister was into them when she was a small child.
Sure.
And first of all, I stand corrected. My Little Pony there's not one named Sweetie Pie, there's one named Pinkie Pie, which I would say is even more perverted.
Yeah, absolutely.
Pinkie Pie, and then there's one named, what is the other one? These names are fucking insane. There's one named Scootaloo.
Oh, precious.
Fluttershy.
What the hell?
Rainbow Dash. This one's fucked up. Rarity.
Why are the others not rare?
I don't know. Snails. One's called
It
Snails.
reminds me of the Teletubbies too.
It's so
Tinky Winky.
Oh, it all feels so perverted.
Yeah.
Snips.
Snips.
Snips. I like Snips, but
okay.
yeah. Sweetie Belle. Sweetie Belle.
Sweetie Belle and Pinkie Pie.
Pinkie Pie and Sweetie Belle.
Okay. You know what? He should be so lucky, this man from the gym,
My
to
little
be
pony.
as majestic as the two of them.
I know. I haven't seen him. I haven't even been back to the gym. I've been just like really working on having my period hard.
Ooh,
and
that's work.
It's weird.
Yeah.
I'm really squishing it.
Do you have enough pads from your feet to supply the?
Yeah, I actually keep
nether
two.
regions?
I keep two different kinds of pads. There's a certain kind of pad I like to put in my socks because you don't want wings. And then you
do want wings up top.
I want wings. Yeah. Oh, I was like up top. Where do you think the vagina is
compared to the feet?
Yeah. Where the fuck
Up
do
top.
you think the vagina?
Right on your head. You place the wings on either ear.
Do you see how easy it is to gaslight me? Like, truly, I've always believed that if someone told me I murdered someone and I didn't, you really could convince me that I did.
Wow.
If you're just like, your vagina's above your neck, I'd be like, man, I forgot. You know? Like, I had to really sit and think about it.
Does it have to do with how much you like trust that person though? Like,
no.
Just anyone.
No, it has to do with how
I was trying
I trust
to turn it
myself.
Okay.
Yeah. You can convince me of almost anything.
I was trying to turn it into like a sweet moment of you trusting me.
Nope, not that.
Not that. Not this time.
The answer is low confidence.
Oh wow. Well, yeah. No, you are clear on where the vagina is.
Thank
and
you.
You are clear on your pads, and I'm sorry to have ever shaken that bedrock of your existence. Yeah.
What I know. Okay.
Is it time?
Let's fucking roll, dude.
Okay.
Is it time?
Is it time?
After a big gulp.
Did we? Okay, let's do it. So, couple what-to-dos. Let me find them. All right, a lot of them were weird. I'm just gonna start out by saying I'm gonna look to camera for this moment. Why are you guys asking us some of these questions? To be clear, we say it as often as possible, but we especially
What did
say
they
it.
ask? I refuse to read half of that.
A lot of times it's like stuff where you need to go to therapy. You need to go to family counseling. I don't know what you need to do. You need a professional. I'm just me.
I don't know how else to say that this is not therapy. I don't know how else to say
I've said it a million times in a million ways.
How many times do I have to say that I was fucking institutionalized? How many times?
I mean, no comment there. That's your truth. But
more times, I guess. More times.
I just want people to know, like, I feel like people wrote us and they were like, oh, I'm really opening up and I really hope that they cover this. And so I just want to say, like, thank you for trusting us with some of your traumas.
Let me smash that trust.
I can't do anything for you. I can't. I won't. A lot of, like, family trauma of, like, stuff with parents, stuff with kids, like, not wanting to fuck up your kid. I don't know, like...
Things that
weird
matter.
Things that matter. Things that
matter.
are really serious. Yeah. I guess
things that I can't even talk about on the podcast because they make me too emotional talking about my own family.
And I don't. Yeah, and I also like have never been in that position. I've never been in any of like a lot of the things we get written about. I've never really been in those shoes, and I think I lean towards choosing the what-to-dos where like I have some experience.
You can relate. Yeah, I think when somebody writes in with something where I did see some of those where someone was being like, my dad did this, and then several years later this happened, and should I reply, and I felt this way, and I don't know if I do this, or like, it was so specific that it would be very irresponsible for me to weigh in, and it would just be irresponsible. So, on something that actually matters, listen, write to me about some bullshit, and I'll weigh in.
Totally.
And
the bullshit is what, like, the audience will also relate to.
Or a more general topic, like the ones we're going to cover aren't bullshit at all, but it's a topic. It's not like, tell me specifically how to repair my relationship.
Yeah. That's another thing. A lot of people write us about, like, I have these two choices in my career. I could either go to this grad program or I could go to this job. And I'm like, I don't fucking, it sounds like you have good options. Happy for you. I can't tell you what to do, and I'm not going to do it on a podcast where other people are listening because it's like very specific to your life.
That could be a fun, different podcast we start there where people ask us incredibly important, like pivotal life moment questions, and we just tell them. We're like, drop out of law school.
Okay.
Yeah.
I could do that.
Yeah. That's a different podcast, though.
Yeah, it is. Not here. Not today.
That podcast, I think, is just called Do What We Say, and because it's called Because I Said So.
Oh, I love it. I thought you were going to do a play on Whatado, like, do what I... You know, like a reverse.
That would have been cool.
Anyway.
Didn't do it.
Okay, here's the first one. I'm just going to read...
I'm already mad looking at my own notes. I'm already mad. I'm
going to read the whole thing.
Okay.
Because last time we kind of summarized. I think it's helpful to get the context.
You know what's hard for me right now, sharing one mic, is that I can't mute myself. Half the time, the only reason I'm able to not interrupt you is because I mute myself, and I'm like, now you don't even have the option to interrupt.
Just interrupt. We're impassioned. It's gonna be fine. I usually mute myself to burp, so it'll just have to happen if it happens. Okay. Okay, the theme of this one is kind of balancing wanting to feel good about ourselves physically while also not wanting it to be all about attracting a partner, the male gaze, things like that. So this person said, I want to feel amazing in my body, go to the gym to feel fit and strong, and do my hair and makeup and wear nice clothes, all of that. But I always worry I'm doing it for the wrong reasons, for the male gaze, to impress people, etc. So I end up doing none of that and present as a slob kebab instead. I know this isn't a kind thing to say about myself, but how can I begin to feel okay in my skin while also feeling okay experimenting with my appearance? Like maybe I want to blow out my hair sometimes or get a fake tan, whatever. I don't know where to start with feeling okay with myself and how I look. I'm a curvy girl with hella curly hair, disordered eating past for reference.
Can I yell for a moment?
Please.
Can I yell? Little rant to start us off.
You're in your home.
Number one, bitch, I love ya. Mm-hmm. Number two, I relate so hard, and I think so many of us do, of like, okay, number one, already feeling negatively about ourselves.
Yeah.
And then on top of that, we pile a judgment on ourselves for feeling negatively about ourselves. I'm not even liking myself the right way. Even the way I hate myself is the wrong way to hate myself. I'm so fucking over it. Can women get a fucking break? Can we get a fucking break? How about it's already enough for me to feel badly about how I look and how I feel and how I present, to then pile on top of it, to then compound it with, and now I'm also fucking up how I'm feeling about myself and my motivations, and I should be feeling about this differently.
Yeah.
There's just no way to fucking win. It's so infuriating, and it's very much put on women, and we gotta do it all perfectly, and if we're not doing it perfectly, and if we're not going to I already want to force myself to go to the gym, but if I'm not doing it for the right reasons, if I'm not going to the gym for the right reasons, that's another failure. Stop this fucking bullshit where everything has to be perfect and you're in trouble for the ways that you're hating on yourself. When the fuck does it end? When do we get a fucking break? Yeah. I'm not mad at you. I'm mad at this fucking way we've been taught to evaluate ourselves.
Yeah.
And I do the same thing. And it's exhausting. And for the rest of this question, let me say we're not therapists. I can share what has helped me. It's definitely something I've struggled with. No fucking shit. And anyone who says they have the answer to this is a fucking liar.
Yeah.
There's not a woman on earth who doesn't struggle with these things, or I've never met her.
Totally.
So this setting this ideal that I'm supposed to just be enlightened and have no sense of vanity and not even notice what I look like that's the goal. No one's ever gonna reach it. Okay, so we all fail. Then we all fail forever, we all fail. Mm-hmm. I just wanna take away this goal of doing it perfectly. We have to both look perfect and feel heavenly and divine and enlightened about it. Never gonna happen. Remove this perfection thing. Insecurity, vanity, to some degree, wanting to impress people, wanting to make a certain impression, all of these are healthy to some degree. The goal is not to eliminate them at all. Think about the reverse. Think about if you went on a date. You talk about the male gaze. It sounds like you're dating guys. Imagine if you went on a date, and this actually has happened to me, the guy showed up in fucking sweatpants, didn't wash his hair, put no interest into, how he presents to you. It's not all vanity and superficial vapidness. It actually is worth something. Imagine if you went to interview, a lawyer you wanted to hire, and you're the client, and he refused to get out of a t-shirt. that would really count against him. It is not worth nothing to care about how you present to the world, to care about like, attracting somebody else. Like, this is not like evil.
Yeah.
It's okay to have some of that. Or even, I don't know, I talked about this like an exercise video I made. This idea where everyone talks about like, I feel like no one's allowed to say with the like gym and workout, fitness, empowerment movement, no one's allowed to admit that they go to the gym for any reasons that involve
that
vanity.
are physical.
But let me tell you, if going to the gym didn't like change how you physically looked, no one would be in there.
Absolutely not.
No one would be in there. I just care about how it makes me feel. It makes me feel better about myself. You're fucking lying. I don't know why we all have to lie when we all feel the same way.
You feel better because you look better.
Because you fucking look better. Also, in addition, it does help stabilize my mood. It does help lift my depression. But like, if those were the only things, I wouldn't be going all the time. I don't know why we all have to fucking lie all the time. It is okay to care about superficial things to some degree. To fashion, beauty, makeup. These are huge industries that we all engage with, but we never look at it and say like, it's too superficial and you're doing it for vanity. Like, but somehow when it comes to our bodies, we're supposed to have this enlightened fucking Zen Buddhist attachment to it. Like, it's okay to have some superficial attachment to it. It can't be 100%, but I take away this idea that it needs to be 0% superficial. It can be a little superficial.
Totally.
Next.
Okay,
Yeah.
we're done.
We're done.
No. Yes, spot on. Exactly my thoughts on it.
It's an unwinnable fucking assignment.
It's an unwinnable thing. And she said it herself.
Yeah.
She had the self-awareness to be like, this is unwinnable because now what I do is present in a sloppy way that I'm not actually proud of, and I would like for it to be different, and I would like for it to be more attractive, but I don't because I have this guilt about like the reason for it. And you totally just have to let go of that guilt. It reminded me of a few things. So first of all, in this same category of like physicality and body image and stuff, I remember when I first started going to my gym, deep down, the reason was because I was feeling like I had gained some weight. I was feeling different in my clothes. I wanted to lose weight. But when my trainer asked me, like, what are your goals? I was like,
Nobody wants to say I
want to lose weight. I was like, well, I definitely, I know every time I'm in a routine with working out, my mood is better, which is true. And so I want to get back into a routine. I want to get stronger because feeling stronger makes me like mentally empowered.
The only things we're allowed to say.
The only things we're allowed to say. And I was like, those things are true. Those are true, and they're underneath the surface. They're there as motivators for the reason why I go. But the thing that motivated me from not working out for 6 months to decide to go join a gym was because I felt like I was gaining weight and I wanted to get in better shape physically. I wanted to look better in my clothes and feel better in my skin. It's the only reason. And I remember my trainer actually asked me about that more. He was like, can you talk about the physical aspects if there are any? And I kind of hesitated, and he was like, I get where you're coming from. I've had like a long life of insecurity about my body and being overweight and like not knowing how to grapple with that and like communicate that to other people. And is it okay to feel bad about that and want to change it? Or should I just like embrace it and be who I am type of thing? So I had that whole type of conversation with him. He really encouraged it. And he was like, you're allowed to be here for physical reasons too. He's like, I started this gym for physical reasons, and every day I'm in here lifting to get buffer because I want to look like a buff gym bro. It's like my goal. That's what I want.
From doing all these intake interviews at the gym, he must be hearing this all the time, because I know it's fucking true that everyone's afraid to say that any superficiality plays into their fitness routine.
Because we're supposed to just accept ourselves. It's like, I do accept myself, and also I want to look better. I want to look however I want to look.
By the same account, then lipstick is evil.
Yeah.
Lipstick is evil. Just fucking accept your fucking uncolored lip color then.
Right.
Is lipstick evil? Like, wearing lipstick, wearing mascara, wanting to curl your hair, like, wanting to wear a cute top doesn't mean that you've, like, lost all your values. And it's okay to have balance.
In fact, it actually, like, there's a cycle to it. There's a cyclical nature where, like, when you do things for your physicality that make you feel like you look good, your mental state changes. The way you think about yourself changes. The way that you move through the world changes. Like, I've actually found that that's where my confidence sometimes comes from, is the fact that I get my nails done every 3 weeks, is the fact that I do my hair and makeup. Like, it's okay for me to say that that helps my confidence.
Yes.
It's totally okay. It doesn't mean that I feel like I'm a shit person until I put on makeup.
Yes.
But, like, I can recognize that I do those things to feel better about myself and that they work. And then there's, like, this cycle where, like, it continues to feed and I continue to feel better about myself. You can let both exist.
It is superficial. It is literally the definition of superficial, and that doesn't mean that it's completely without value. And so, like, moving on to what I think, you know, she's talking about that balance. Okay, so we don't want to be in the danger zone of our motivations being 100% superficial. Like, no, that's not going to sustain you. Yeah, I know that, and I've been in that place. I don't think that's going to sustain you. I don't think that's a healthy place to be. So yes, we want to get, like, more in the middle. I just first want to, like, erase this idea that it has to be, like, all enlightenment.
Yeah.
Fucking, okay, well, I'll see you in the next lifetime.
You can have whatever reasons you want. Yeah.
Great. Stop beating yourself up. You're already beating yourself up plenty. You're doing an A+ job beating yourself up. Let's not do more.
Yeah.
For me, first of all, the transformation, like the journey towards a healthier body image, it's been at least 15 years in the making, and I think I'm at, like, I would say I'm at, like, a medium place right now. There's no easy answer to this, duh. This is an entire industry, like, wanting to, like, have healthy fitness and healthy relationship to your body. Anything that we can say here, it's just, you know, the tip of the iceberg, so take it with a grain of salt. It's taken me about 15 years to even feel moderately functional.
And that you can say anything about it, probably,
totally.
You know? Yeah.
But I would say probably the single biggest thing that has helped me is setting realistic and healthy role models for myself. And by healthy, I really don't mean weight. I mean, like, body type and proportions.
Yeah.
There's, for example, you know, a fitness influencer that probably a ton of people know, Kayla Itsinas.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, she's amazing. Her workouts are amazing. And she just has a body type I will never have. Mm-hmm. Even when I weighed 87 pounds when I was 16, my body didn't look like hers. It's just not how I'm built. And I find that I used to, like, do her fitness app and do her exercises, and the more I was inundated with images of a body I could truly never have, the more focused I am on it. And it's perspective. It's like, what are you focusing on? To me, that's what depression is. That's what optimism is. Just what are you focusing on? You could focus on a complaint. You could focus on the upside. So to me, the biggest impact has been, like, finding fitness influencers or just, like, everyday, you know, Instagram influencers, models, friends, whoever, who represent attainable goals that make sense for your body. I actually think that my favorite movie of all time, The Silence of the Lambs, has really good insight
Stop it.
on this topic, where Hannibal turns to Clarice and he says, "Clarice, what do we covet?" And she says, "We covet the things we see every day." So,
wow.
Like, what are you inundating yourself
Brilliant.
with every day? And when I find myself getting, like, a little too, you know, I have, like, really muscular legs, like, ridiculously muscular legs. It's how I'm built. I'm not trying to erode that muscle anymore. I couldn't if I wanted to. And when I get fixated on having the body of some wafy model, the legs of some wafy model, it's not better or worse, but if I start setting that as my goal, I'm going to start feeling worse about the way that I am. And as soon as I will, like, remember, I'll recognize it, I'll pull up my phone and I'll look at a couple influencers who are built muscularly like me, and I can see how they're owning it, and I can see how they dress for that body type, and I can see how they, like, hype that up and make that feel like the best thing, and it suddenly makes me feel so much better. Right. It makes me feel excited about how I'm built.
And when you look at their pictures, I'll speak for myself, like, I've done the same thing. Anytime a picture pops up on my Instagram of somebody who makes me feel bad about myself, I unfollow. This is something I've been practicing for the last year or so.
You don't need to be fucking looking at that shit.
It's just not worth it for my mental health and my comparing myself to everything that I see. And I started to do what you're doing and, like, follow people who look more like me, have body types like me, have skin tones like me, dress in the way that I aspire to, all of that. And, like, it's amazing how when you look at a picture of them, like Ashley Graham, she's, like, a very well-known curve model. I think she's the most beautiful person on the planet. And my body is not unlike hers. I'm shorter than her, but nevertheless, the curves, I love to see her in a bathing suit on Instagram. And I'm like, she looks amazing. When I'm looking at this picture, I'm not even saying to myself, she looks amazing for a curvier woman. I'm not saying any of that. She simply looks amazing. And for me to look at somebody who's curvier and whose body is similar to mine and look objectively be like, she looks amazing, it starts to infiltrate my mind where like eventually I can feel that way about myself a little bit more, get closer to it, as opposed to comparing everything that like doesn't look like me that I used to see all the time. So it's like you're staring at those people and you're seeing how they celebrate it and how they dress for that body and how whatever, but you're also like telling yourself that that's what looks good because I don't know, you think that of someone else. It's so much easier to look at a picture of someone else and think they look amazing right, than look at a picture of yourself and think the same thing, even if you like look identical to the person.
I know.
So that's kind of where I'm coming from with that. Is like I'm trying to trick myself into thinking I'm Ashley Graham sometimes, you know, because I look more like her than I look like Kayla Itzinas or whatever. So
it really is about like where this is the part that you do have control over, is like where do you invest attention over and over and over.
Yeah.
My older sister always said this to me, and she's someone who, like all of us, does have insecurities, but I would say she's like, my impression from what she shared with me is that she always seemed to have a better sense of self about her body. Mm-hmm. And she always like would say to me, you know, you can get wrapped up in other people's, I think a lot of it is getting wrapped up in how we think other people are judging our bodies, other people are judging our appearance, which, you know, how you present yourself, it is a piece of information about you. You know, you show up to the meeting looking like a slob, like, yeah, that's not like an irrelevant piece of information. It's not nothing, but it's also not everything.
Yeah.
And the thing she would say is like, you know, I'm the only one who has to live in this body. I'm the only one who has to experience life from this body. So do I want that experience to be starving to myself, to be hating myself in front of the mirror? Or am I going to like show up and enjoy whatever I get to do in this body? Like, I'm the only one who gets to experience it. I don't know. I thought it was kind of interesting as someone who focuses very much on what other people think of me.
Yeah. No, I think that's helpful. And I think it's also okay to focus on, like, kind of part of what you're saying is also that it's okay to be aware that what other people think is a factor sometimes.
Well, in moderation,
you know?
yeah. If a guy I was dating put no effort into attracting me, I would feel fucking robbed. Like, I don't get to feel attracted to you in this life.
Yeah.
That's fucking annoying to me.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, I don't, what?
Yeah.
Yeah, what?
We're allowed to want to attract somebody. Actually, yeah, I feel like getting mad at yourself, this is like a bigger topic that I do find interesting, like getting mad at yourself for the reason you feel something as opposed to just like letting yourself feel it.
Yeah.
Because, and especially when it comes to dating, attracting the opposite sex, that sort of thing. Because I remember, like, what this question made me think of, which has nothing to do really with body image, and yeah, who knows if it's relevant or helpful to anyone, but like, it made me think of how when I was really actively dating, it was like a big focus of my life and what I did outside of work for like a year or so. And I felt really weird about the fact that it was a focus. I was like...
You're judging it.
I was judging myself. I was like, why am I making this such a priority? Why is this such a focus? And I remember talking to my therapist about it. I was like, I'm dating, yeah, but like I feel like it's like the only thing that I'm really spending my mental space on. And like, I feel weird about that. And we explored it, and I wasn't actually thinking about it that unhealthily. The thing that was bugging me was just that it was like my number one thing at the time. And I was like, why is attracting a partner like my number one concern right now? And she was like, why are you being so hard on yourself about that? Like, everybody wants to find love.
It's like the most important thing in life for most
like
people.
Literally everybody's goal. Like, people have different career goals, people have different like goals of where they want to live and what they want to spend their time on. But like, everybody wants to find love.
But I would actually say that people spend like even more energy on their career, and I would say that's more superficial.
Yeah, that's more of a stupid thing. That's true. But I was telling myself, like, why am I not more focused on work? Why am I not more focused on this?
As if somebody gets to their deathbed and they're like, I wish I'd focused less on finding love and focused more on my career.
Totally.
But I'm laughing because I judge myself in the same way.
Yeah.
Because I'm dating now and I feel vapid, I feel superficial, I feel self-indulgent, I feel whatever, and it's like, obviously you want that balance, but such a good point.
And I didn't want to come across that way to other people. Like, I know myself, and I know the things that make up the puzzle of, like, what I want in life and what makes me me. And I know that it's not only about a partner, but that was something that was really a focus, and it was one of the big puzzle pieces, and that's okay too. But I think what was hard was, like, I don't want my friends to think that about me or something. I don't want my...
Do they know anything
like,
about you?
Peers
Do they know anything about you? Like, they're gonna change their whole opinion of you because you're fucking dating? But I mean,
that's true. They know it. They know me too. But by the same token, I was just like, I felt like it was the only thing I was talking about and the only thing I was spending time on. And then when I'd get together with my friends, that was like the topic and the thing that I had thoughts to share and updates to share. And like, it was always what's going on in Jess's dating life. And I felt like, am I presenting as like a vapid person that only cares about this, like so superficial and so like pick me and so like boy obsessed and whatever. And I don't know. It's like you're allowed to want the things you want. And pretty like with some of these things, like attracting a partner, like everybody wants that. Like the majority of people want that. If they're judging you for it, it's because they are judging themselves for it. So like... you know, do the thing that is going to make you feel good, I guess, and get you closer to the things you want in life. And if that means focusing on dating or dressing in a certain way or doing your makeup in a certain way or whatever, then fucking do it. Like, it's what's getting you closer to the thing you want. Totally.
Yeah. You want to move on?
Yeah.
Okay.
Tell me a story.
Oh, okay. I have a complaint.
Okay. That'll work.
I have a complaint. Have I talked to you about how I've been doing laser hair removal?
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah.
Okay. And? I've done like 6 sessions once a month, so same frequency as waxing, and hair's almost completely gone. Okay. And it costs less than doing 6 sessions of waxing. Really? And I've done it for like all over my body. And my only complaint, okay, I would say perfect, A+, across the board. Yep. For lasering. Okay. If you've ever gotten a bikini wax, there's a part of the experience and lasering. The butt strip. The butt strip.
The best part.
I like calling it the butt strip because it makes me think of like the Gaza Strip, and it's a war zone. Yeah, it's a war zone.
I love the butt strip is what I look forward to. It's like my little gift at the end of the session. I'm like, oh.
Yes. You would think if you've never been waxed or lasered, you would think it's the most painful, but it's the least.
Right.
It's the least.
It's really truly a delight.
Good news because it is a furry place for me.
Okay. All right, we're saying that.
If this is upsetting to you, it's the wrong podcast.
Like, yeah, that's fine.
Listen, we've all got butt cracks.
We do.
If you tell me,
I have a feeling we have a hairy audience. Yeah. So, what you think? Who's listening to us? The two of us that's not really hairy. It doesn't make any sense. Yeah.
These eyebrows, this is exactly what it looks like when you stare between my butt.
Totally. I'm Lebanese. I have coarse, thick hair. I get it. Yeah.
And yet, they are not really getting in there in the right way.
Okay.
I'm gonna say it's partly, and I don't know how to problem solve this, it's partly the tools they're using. Like, really what we need is like some kind of wedge-shaped laser that they can kind of like credit card swipe my butt with.
Totally.
But short of that...
What's the tool shape currently?
It looks like they're doing an ultrasound. You know, it's like a big thing, and I'm like, okay, so either someone has to spread them. You gotta spread them, or
I gotta spread them. I'm happy to spread them. But I feel like they need to ask you. You don't want to just do it. Yeah. You can't just reach down and spread them unless they prompt you.
I need them to invite me to spread them before I can spread them, and nobody's asking me to spread them.
Okay.
And then I had the delusional thought the other day, like, I have a pretty large butt in proportion to the rest of my body.
Totally, we love it.
Big, I would say. And I had the thought the other day where I was like, well, they probably never had to laser a butt this big.
I love it.
And then I was like, wait.
They've never seen anything like it.
I was like, wait, that's probably not true.
The Kardashians aren't the ones that started lasering as like a major trend.
Probably not true. So then I had the thought, if they're not spreading mine and they're not getting in mine, they're not getting in any butts.
A lot of hairy buttholes.
They're not getting in any butts.
Yeah.
And I'm paying. I'm not saying that it's not weird to have you spread my butt and laser it, but it is what we agreed to.
Right.
And I'm paying for it.
Okay,
so how do I get out of this?
I feel like...
How do I get into it?
You need to say... Exactly. I would suggest...
Spread them?
Or like, don't you think I should spread them a little? Maybe frame it as a question.
Be like, are you thinking I should spread them?
Yeah.
Because
we're both thinking the same thing. You look like you wanted me to spread them. Like, I feel like if you frame it as like, an
What do you
obvious
want?
suggestion.
I want you to have what you want.
An obvious suggestion. Like, make them think it was their idea. But that's what you have to do in this life. You have to make other people think it was their idea. Oh, did you say spread them? I thought I heard you say.
Also, notice how we both refuse to say butt or butt cheek or like
what are we saying?
Butthole. We're just saying spread them.
Oh,
There's
spread 'em.
There's this unspoken agreement that like you're gonna stare into my butthole and I'm gonna show it to you, but neither of us are gonna say what you're looking at.
Yeah, absolutely not. Especially cheek.
Cheek.
Like, should I spread my cheeks? I don't like that.
Spread my cheeks.
No.
My bouncers.
Wait, okay, you've already had how many sessions?
Like 8.
I think you need to say, maybe, okay, the other approach, you could take it very much from like a client,
like, they're
I'm
not
paying
getting in
you
there.
for a job.
That's the thing, is that I'm paying for this, I'm getting the laser.
You can be like,
At the end
I
of
feel
it-
like there's still like a good, like more hair there than I want.
That's
Should
true,
I be
that's
spreading
true, yeah.
them while you
What would you recommend
do that
I
area?
do? What would you
Yeah.
recommend I do?
Yeah, ask them, and then they'll say something, and if they don't say spread them, then you can be like, what about spreading them?
This girl, I went in yesterday, and she actually, like, twice lasered over my butthole. And I was like, there's nothing happening in the hole. It's a hole. Like, there's nothing coming out of
like
the hole.
over the...
Yeah, like, it singed me. I was like, you just fucking burnt my butthole. And she did it once, and I was like, well, that was probably an accident, because it never happened before. And she did it twice, and I was like, okay, I have to say something, because she keeps lasering my butthole, like, the hole.
That's weird.
And I was like, first of all, okay, once I'll forgive. Twice, what does it say? Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice. Burn my butthole twice, shame on me. I gotta say something.
Yeah.
But then I was paralyzed by like, how do I say this? Like, I was like, I'm trying to think of a synonym for butthole. All I could think of is like asshole, or maybe saying like the hole, like you burned the hole. I was like, that's so much worse.
The orifice.
The hole. The almighty eye.
Yeah.
And then I was just, eventually was just like, kid, you just burned my butthole.
Do you have a different person every time? It's like whoever they can schedule you with, or is it the same person?
It's often different.
Okay, because that would help the situation too.
Remember last time how you burned my butthole? Not this time, please.
Well, that, and just like if you have a report, because one of the things I look forward to about getting my bikini waxes is
Nothing.
I am friends with my waxer, Iris. We chat
She
all
from Russia?
things. No, she's black. That is kind of an like Russian, Eastern European name.
No, it's
Is it
not at all. But I feel like every waxer I've ever had has always been Russian.
No, not. I don't know if I've had any, but it makes sense. There's something about that makes sense. But no, no. Iris and I, we talk about Love Is Blind. We talk about the shows. We talk about Love Island, and it makes the time pass. And I really do feel like on top of the world when I leave European Wax Center. But
I don't accept.
I'm surprised that everyone has different nerve endings in different places.
Mine are all in my vagina. I feel almost nothing on the rest of my body.
Look at you.
Oh, it's not pleasant.
Okay.
All right,
let us know what
on.
happens, yeah.
Do you want to talk about learning to trust again in relationships?
I do. That sounds like a perfect transition.
Do you need more coffee?
Yeah.
Yeah?
I also need to put on, like, chapstick so that I'm not dry as
I'm going to pause this for 1 sec.
Yeah.
Pause the video. Okay, we're freaking back.
Here's Zoom.
Got some fucking coffee.
Yeah, that was sick.
It was fucking sick.
A really
that was
chill hang.
That was a sick sip of coffee.
Chill break. Okay.
What a chill break.
That's sick is another one of those words that I say
sick
ironically.
Sick is a funny word.
I love that word.
Yeah, I like that.
It's like I enjoy saying it and it's ironic,
That's
but I'm
sick.
enjoying myself.
I like it. I think I'm officially taking it on.
Okay, cool. Yeah, you are a little bit more.
Sick.
I feel like when I first said it around you, you'd be like, "Is she okay? Is she
no,
good?"
I don't think I registered it.
Okay.
Now that I think about it, I respect.
Thank you.
I'm looking at my notes. I'm not texting.
I know.
I know you know because you can see my phone, but they'll be like, she's ignoring Jess. No, I'm not.
We're right. We're never ignoring each other. You live in my heart.
I'm so afraid of people thinking I'm a bad friend, I think.
Oh my god, I wish I could make an announcement and just be like, shut up! I guess I can. This is recording.
You have a podcast.
Shut up!
No one, first of all,
Caroline is a beautiful person and a great friend and has
opened
opened up my life in so many ways since we've reconnected, and it's like one of the things I am most grateful for at this ripe age of 31.
I should probably let you know before you attack the listeners that no one has actually said this. It's my own insecurity.
I know that it is. That's why I'm saying it in front of you.
It's not their fault.
I'm saying this for you, but they are forced to hear it. It's to you.
The announcement is to me.
It's to you.
Okay, keep going.
Okay, I forgot what I said.
I'm great. You were saying how I was great?
You're great.
Fuck yeah.
No, I'm truly grateful for you in my life.
I accept your gratitude.
In so many ways.
And I do.
In so many ways.
In so many ways.
I'm looking at my eyes because I want you to... I'm transferring the truth to you.
Thank you.
Okay, let's talk.
I receive your truth.
Let's do some Whatado. Let's do our last one.
Yeah, I'll read the last one.
Okay. This one's a deep one. Deep cut. Yep. I have feelings about it.
I think you're going to have more feelings than me.
Okay, sick. Okay, the theme is how to rebuild trust/openness while dating and remain unjaded despite previous bad experiences. So the backstory from this listener is she found out about a month ago that a nice guy who she'd previously dated had been systematically lying to her and had dated other women the whole time. Oh, another woman the whole time, as well as having numerous hookups while they were dating. So she was shocked. He seemed like a really nice, non-pressuring, somewhat insecure guy, and you think insecurity is gonna help you, who felt lucky to be with her. I thought I'd gotten closure, but I've been on a couple of dates and I'm much more on guard around guys who normally wouldn't have raised any mental alarm signals. So basically she's saying, like, she found out this guy was trifling after the fact. It was somebody that she really trusted, found out she shouldn't have trusted him, and now she's like trying to date other people and she has trust issues, you know? I mean, I have thoughts because this is something that I feel like I've had to deal with a lot. And it's interesting because, okay, I guess the quick backstory is just, I mean, I've talked about my long relationship that didn't work out, but I don't know if I've like specifically said what wasn't working and what went down. And I don't know how much I'm comfortable sharing, but I will say that he very quickly after we broke up got into a new relationship, and it was like 5-year relationship, we broke up, and then 3 weeks later he's dating someone new.
That's fucking psychopathic.
And it's somebody that I know was like in his circle,
right? So
like
it's just like
work,
you don't
whatever.
even need to know what the exact dates are. It's fucking suspect.
It's suspect.
Your heart should not be open to someone after a 5-year relationship if your heart was really in that relationship.
Right.
There's emotional cheating or some kind of cheating somewhere. You're fucking you sus.
Totally.
You sus.
You sus. Which like luckily I didn't find out that happened until months later.
Sus asshole.
So on one hand it's sus because it's like, why didn't I know about that? But on the other hand, I'm like, I had done a lot of healing by the time that this information came to me through mutual friends. So I was like, okay, fuck him. But it's jarring and it's surprising. And it's like, I thought when we broke up, we were like heartbroken and crying and we still said, I love you when we broke up. You know what I mean? Like, I thought that that's what this relationship was. And now come to find out you so quickly were able to move on. And there must have been some sort of overlap of communication, if not more.
Got something on the back burner,
exactly.
Whatever. Either way, it just doesn't reflect well on him at all.
Exactly. And it happens all the time. I have so many friends who have been through similar things. And so coming into dating again after that relationship, I was like on the highest alert possible. If somebody gave me any reason to doubt that they were into me, I like took an inch and went a mile. Like I was so insecure and so sure that like everyone out there was trying to hurt me and looking for ways that they were gonna hurt me and looking for patterns too, like triggered by patterns that had existed in that relationship that I was seeing play out again, even though those patterns, I don't know, it's like maybe this person is just communicates in this way, but I'd be like, oh, my ex communicated in that way and he did this to me, so you must also be a person that would do this to me. And it really wasn't until I got into my current relationship and had like was kind of with someone who's committed to me where we have to work through stuff and he wanted to stick around for this chaos and insecurity that I was bringing, that I've started to make progress and like no longer feel that way. I feel like the only way that I've made progress is just by seeing that my current partner like sticks around. Like something happens that might be a trigger to me, we talk about it and I realize why I interpreted it the wrong way because of my like fucked up past with my ex, and then the next day he's still there, and then the cycle continues, and it happens less now than it did at the beginning, but it was happening a lot at the beginning, and the fact that he was still there the next day was like the only thing that helped me
Right.
start to heal that. So when I was dating more casually and I wasn't with people who were going to be there the next day.
How are they going to help you build trust? You don't have a relationship of trust with them.
Right. And I think that's one of the biggest things that I've found out that I did not expect in now being in a new relationship. I've talked to you a little bit about it, is like a lot of the healing that I had to do from my past relationship
is in the new relationship. Yeah, I've heard that a lot for trust. I feel like trusting specifically is not something I've really struggled with. And again, this is something that you could like build an entire therapeutic career on. So we'll touch on whatever the little I know and Jess's personal experience. But I feel like that is what I've learned, is that for people I talk about it who are like struggling with this, is that it's true for so much healing that you do. You do some healing on your own, and a lot of it you have to do in the relationship, and that you learn trust again by taking leaps.
Yeah.
Yeah.
By going against what your like untrusting subconscious is trying to tell you to do. Like, I don't know, you have to be cautious, you have to be in tune with your gut, but like if it feels like you're in a safe place with a person who feels safe, even though, do you know that for sure? No, you kind of
never
have
will.
to. You never will.
I feel like that's the biggest thing that you can kind of sometimes, I think sometimes you forget, is that like trusting, I'm going to sound so stupid saying this, but I know I need to say it. Trusting is not knowing. Trusting is not vetting. Trusting is not always knowing where your partner is and what they're doing and what you're thinking. Let me tell you what, you never will know.
Yep.
Even if you could get
the point.
Even if you could get their diary, people aren't even often honest fully with themselves. You don't ever actually fully know a person.
Yeah.
You do not. Please debate me. You haven't thought about it very hard if you want to debate me. You never know. You never fully know all of another person.
That's the point of trust. It's like, I don't have to know what you're up to, and I trust you. That is what it is.
The point is not to figure out what they do and what they think and what is going to happen all the time. I feel like trust is, there are things like you described in a relationship of like fearing some outcome, letting yourself wade through it, letting yourself wade through the fear, and seeing how your partner like reassures you on the other end. But another part of it is really just trusting yourself. For me, it's trusting that like actually no matter what happens, I know I will be well. Yeah. I know I will be okay. Because the truth is that you can have a loving relationship for 30 years and then encounter like tragedy.
Yeah.
You can have a loving relationship for however long and be cheated on, or have found out the person was cheating on you the whole time, to find out the person had a second life, a second partner the entire time, to have it fall apart the last minute, to have them change their mind about what they want 20 years down the road. Like, these aren't like fantastical things. These are things that happen every day.
All the time.
So there's actually not a way to vet that none of it will ever happen to you. I think it is more about like being willing to take risk and being willing to take leaps intelligently, and trusting that you have the tools and the support system and the emotional like foundation to be well, even when shocking and disappointing things happen, which is one thing. But the other part is that like for me, I have been cheated on, and I would say those were like the least of the problems in the relationship. I think
such a good point.
People say a lot of the time like it's a symptom. Cheating is just a symptom of some deeper issue, which I think is pretty true. Like, I can't imagine a way in which you would cheat and, like, everything else really is perfect.
Yeah.
So, to me, I never even got, like, I forgot that this ex cheated on me, because what stood out so much clearer was the fact that, like, I felt so unsafe in this relationship. Even before I knew he cheated, I just felt, like, so unsafe. I felt so unsupported. I felt so... This is like my first serious relationship. And that being said, there's also the kinds of cheaters who are like total psychopaths and they're comfortably lie to your face. But even I had friends who'd been cheated on in that way by someone who'd lied to their face, and it was seemingly present in every other way. But there was like something that would keep them up at night. And there was something that they felt in their bones. So I feel like it's more about like, I almost feel like the cheating itself doesn't matter. It's more about like, how does this person make you feel in a relationship?
Yeah.
Because if you feel terrified in a relationship and that person is not cheating on you, still not a relationship you should stay in.
Totally.
And if that person you feel insecure and terrible in a relationship and you have to ask all the time, oh my God, could they be cheating on me? It would be sort of plausible. Like, the answer doesn't really matter. Also not really a situation you want to stay in.
Yeah.
So while you can't always call the people who will be cheaters, I also knew, like, one of our closest family friends seemed like the nicest fucking guy we knew. The nicest, most ideal family, and I don't know, the kids found out that he'd just had another wife for like 15 years. For like 15 years. Like, the same person. And,
Wow.
this dissolved the family, and it wasn't someone you could point to and be like, yeah, this showed, or there was that tell, or this or that. I'm not saying you can call it all the time, but...
Which actually should be a comfort, because what your brain is doing is seeing things in other people that might, like, remind you of the person that hurt you, and saying, oh, because they're this way, they down the line will hurt me, because that's what I've seen before. But it's actually not something that is, like, attached to any one trait. Just because someone... like what we talked about last week, speaks to the waiter a certain way, doesn't mean that they won't cheat on you, doesn't mean that they will, whatever. I don't know. Like, you can see things that remind you of someone else in a partner, because we're often attracted to, like, similar types of people.
And we're basing everything based on past experience.
Exactly.
So
it's the data that you have to pull from.
Yeah.
But, like, that doesn't actually mean anything. It's a brand new person. You have to really... I don't know. There's no, like, quick fix to becoming more open, other than seeing yourself...
Taking risk.
Yeah, seeing yourself not be open a million times and be like, am I getting anywhere?
Am I getting anywhere? Is this better?
Yeah.
Is this making my life better?
Yeah.
Like, it's so understandable. You need the time to heal when you've been, like, hurt in any relationship, in a friendship, family, romantic, whatever. Like, you probably need time to process and go away. I'm not saying, like, rush back into things, but from the very, very little that I've heard talking to my friends who, like, this is the thing they struggle with, you do a lot of that healing and learning by taking the risk and by making yourself vulnerable again.
By dating, yeah.
Yeah, you have to make yourself vulnerable again. And I would definitely say this is something you should definitely talk to a professional about so you can get the specific support, because I fucking don't have it.
Totally.
But one shitty thing I will say, can I say a shitty thing?
Please. Always.
Something that she put in this message to us, this DM, which who knows what all she meant by this, but she included, like, oh, he was just like a normal, like, nice seeming guy who was like maybe a little insecure and felt lucky to be with me.
Yeah.
Let me tell you that.
Let's dig into that.
That's not, I read that as more of a red flag than a green flag.
1,000%.
Let me tell you this. I don't know anything about this guy, so I can't fucking say, and this isn't the case 100% of the time, but someone, man or woman, who's always like, I don't deserve you.
They're hiding something.
There's a reason they feel guilty.
Yeah.
Probably because they're cheating on you. Or maybe it's just because, I don't deserve you. That's a big red flag.
Totally.
It might just be that they have such, it might not be that they're cheating on you. Maybe that they have such a core feeling of unworthiness that they truly believe they don't deserve you. I've also dated that person. And guess what? That also ended our relationship.
Yeah.
Someone who truly feels... That one resulted in him accusing me of cheating on him all the time because he felt like he was so undeserving of being with me. Like, either way, that statement, I'm so fortunate to be with you. There's a way to feel that gratitude, like, in a grounded way. But as soon as it gets to an extreme, whether they're cheating or they just have a low sense of self-worth, that's kind of a death sentence either way.
Yeah, totally. If they don't feel like an equal in the relationship, it has nothing. It probably has nothing to do with how you're actually showing up and treating them.
It's their relationship to
they're
themselves.
Bringing this insecurity to the relationship. Yeah, they're yes, it's either a cover for guilt or it's like they don't feel enough. They might go seek that enoughness through something else.
Which is why most cheating happens.
Exactly. Yeah, so I do agree that part of the message was really telling.
I think she included it as like, oh, he's not the type who would cheat, but when I read that, I'm like, that's exactly the type who would cheat.
Yeah, ding, ding, ding.
Yeah.
As soon as I read it out loud, I was like, oh, fuck.
Ding, fucking ding, ding.
I forgot about this part of the message.
Yeah.
The other thing, okay, this is tangential a little bit, but while we are talking about trust, I feel like something interesting that I've been reflecting on a lot, I don't know, in the last couple of years, like ever since that relationship, is that I thought I trusted my ex in the sense that, like, I actually did trust him not to cheat on me.
Mm-hmm.
But trust is so much more than, like, being loyal to your partner sexually and emotionally, like, with another person. More.
That's why I honestly feel like if someone cheated on me, yeah, I guess that would be the end. But sometimes I'm like, it almost feels like the least of the worries.
Totally. It's like there wasn't trust here to begin with.
Do you make me feel like emotionally safe?
Yeah. Yeah. I just think that's notable because I feel like whenever people talk about trust, they equate it to, like, whether somebody's going to cheat on you or not, and whether you can trust them around, like, people of the opposite sex or same sex or whatever or not.
That's baseline.
It's baseline. It's like, baseline. Actually trust looks like, you know, are you going to follow through on the things that you say you're going to do? Are you going to, like, show up for me when I'm not my best self? Are you going to, like...
Can I share, like, thoughts and ideas I have without you shooting them down?
Totally. Or feeling like I'm risking something by telling you, risking our relationship, risking our security. Like, it's so much more than just the cheating. And I would say to this person, like, explore those parts of that relationship to yourself, and, like, really think about, like, did we have that type of trust in the first place? Because if you can get a little more to the root of, like, the other things that were wrong with it, you might be able to move on easier.
That's so... Bitch, you fucking nailed it!
We got it together!
Fucking navigating it together.
Yeah. Ugh. That's all you can do.
God.
Hate navigating.
I hate navigating!
The word navigating.
I think
constantly.
It's a red flag in me that I can
say me too. I can very much own that. I'm saying it left and right.
Yeah.
But, like, I don't know. What else are we doing other than navigating?
What's an alternative? What's a synonym? Toodle-doing?
Ah!
I feel like, that's...
That'll work. Or, like, fumbling. Honestly, stumbling. Fumbling, stumbling.
What's that song?
Oh!
You made me tripping.
Yeah. Tripping. Oh, coming in. Oh. Falling in love. Okay. So is it falling in love?
I don't fucking know.
The word instead of navigating?
Falling in love.
No, I'm just saying, is that the word we're looking for? Oh, I have to check in for my flight tomorrow. Excuse me, everyone.
Have we only been recording for 1 hour 12?
Oh, I was wrong about that. My flight is in 2 days. I had a notification from Southwest. Yeah, we've only been recording for 1:12.
I feel like we've been doing this for hours.
Me too. I have an ick to share with you.
Please.
Okay.
Immediately.
My ick that I realized yesterday is when grown men say, the whole wide world.
I feel like I'm making you so petty. And I think it's
You're just bringing it out in me.
I think it's always been in you, but I think this is actually how I feel about old people. I think it's in everyone.
Totally.
I don't think I'm teaching people. Listen, first of all, I obviously
You're teaching me. Professor Caroline.
I think I'm teaching. Yeah. I'm enlightening.
Yeah.
But I don't think I'm teaching people what to be mad about. I think I'm just telling them the words of what they already felt.
Yes. I think I've felt these things all the time.
Yes,
I've just not taken the time to, like,
scream it into a microphone.
Really notice it. Yeah. And scream it into a microphone and reflect on why and all of that.
Keeps me up at night. This is what I stay up at night doing.
Yeah, I like sleep. So, like, it's not been my experience. I've been sleeping less, I will say.
Yeah.
ever since. No, but I was watching this
the
reel.
The whole
wide world.
So fucking funny.
I was like, what is this man? No shade to this man. I actually really like the project he's working on, but this guy who lives in Chicago is doing all these Instagram reels of
someone you personally know, or just
just like an I don't know if I'd call him an influencer. Maybe he's a local influencer, and he's doing this thing.
He's an internet person.
He's an internet person in Chicago. He's trying to dine at restaurants for every different type of food in the world, all in Chicago. So he's going around the Chicagoland area and being like, I'm going to find a Bulgarian restaurant. I'm going to find a Lebanese restaurant. I'm going to find a Czech restaurant, and, like, going and tasting the food. And he'll do a different reel for each thing. Okay, cool. That's a cool project. Cool, you're so cool. And so his reel popped up. I don't follow him, but it popped up in my, feed the other day. And he was like, it was like the intro of the video, and he was like, hey, I'm so-and-so, and I'm doing this thing where I travel around Chicago and eat every food from the whole wide world. Or something.
Like, unfollow.
I was like, what the fuck? I've seen his videos pop up before, and I don't think he's ever said whole wide world. But in this video, he said whole wide world, and I was like, sir.
You're so petty.
Sir!
So petty.
I was so upset, and I went to the comments to see if anyone else had called him out on it. No, they were like, oh, that looks good. But I couldn't finish watching the video. I don't know what he ate.
Jess, everyone else as well. Everyone else as well. No one else is commenting.
I was upset.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, so that's like to the top of the ick
girl,
list.
that's your V-neck tee. That's
my
a fucking V-neck tee. It's actually not. It's not legitimate, but it is superficial as fuck.
Oh, totally. But I cannot touch a person.
And you
that
can't.
says
Yeah,
that.
you can't choose.
I can't touch you.
I could.
You whole wide world.
I'm gonna say that I'm laughing so hard because it is so funny that that's what I'm saying to me. I kind of get it, but it's like not my V-neck tee.
Wow.
Not my V-neck tee.
I'm fine with the V-neck. I will say
Literally,
not a deep V. That's why when we talked about it, I clarified because I hate the deep
No,
Vs.
I literally was in a workout yesterday and I was looking at these men and imagining, I was like photoshopping their shirts in my head and imagining if they were a V-neck. And I was just like, get dead to me, get dead to me, get dead to me.
You done, son?
You done.
What's that from?
I've never heard that before.
Oh, I think me and my best friend say it sometimes. Do you ever have those things where, like, you have been saying an inside joke for so long with your family or your friends or whatever that you think it's from something?
It's from my life.
It's from me. It's me jokes. Yeah. It's me. It's been me the whole time.
Oh.
That's my ick. Let me see if I have anything else to tell you.
Let me see. I might have some bullshit. A lot of notes about my butthole. Oh! Wait, this isn't really funny. It's kind of deep.
We could answer a question that a listener wrote us in a comment.
Oh, am I gonna hate it?
No, you liked it. You already indicated that you liked it, unless things have changed drastically since this morning.
Probably.
They asked us individually if each of us were a day of the week and a specific time of day.
Let me clarify. I did.
What would we be?
That I hate.
You hated it. Damn it! I loved it.
I can't tell.
I was like, oh, what would Caroline be? And what would I be?
I can't. I think this person has a really good sense of humor, right? That's not a genuine question.
I thought it was genuine.
That cannot be a genuine question.
It's
That is
like
to me, that is a funny person.
Okay.
That is a funny.
They're probably funny.
I'm gonna assume that question is like meta, and she is aware that that's a hilarious thing.
But she wants an answer. Is my
crazy.
point.
That's crazy.
Like, I think she might realize it's funny, but I think she also wants an answer.
Okay, fine.
Okay.
All right. What is your answer? Wait. Repeat the question. I think I talked over you.
Okay. If each of us were a day of the week and a time of day, like Tuesday at 6 p.m., whatever, what would it be? I can answer I thought about yours and mine.
Please.
Okay. I'm Friday at 4 p.m. I fucking love myself.
So dumb. Why?
Because I am like the brink of excitement. You know, like I'm not like the most, I'm like cool, don't get me wrong, but I'm not like the most energy or like the most exciting, like Friday night, like 10 p.m.
Okay.
But I'm like on the brink. I'm like
of ready to party.
You're like getting excited about the thing that's coming next.
Oh, okay. I think that's a really good answer.
And I think I have a balance
All
of
right.
like I'm professional. People always comment about the podcast that I'm like professional. Well, I think it's dissipated as we've gone on. But at the beginning,
if you keep ranting about people saying the whole wide world, you're not that professional.
But at the beginning, people are always like, "Oh, Jess is the professional one. Whatever, Caroline, don't worry about not being professional. We need both of you." I'm just like fucking. You should see me at work. I'm always saying bullshit and being rude. But my point is, I have the professionalism, which is still like 4 p.m. is technically you're still on the clock.
Yeah. No.
But it's Friday afternoon and you're like ready to get out and enjoy the world. I think that's me.
So I think that's a great answer, and it actually makes me appreciate the question more.
Okay.
Yeah.
So do you want to think about yours, or do you want to
I just want you to tell me
what I thought?
I'm going to decide in my head.
Okay. I could go like different directions with it.
Yeah, I want to hear what you say.
I definitely know time of day.
I think I know that one too.
I'm just trying to figure out.
What's the time of day?
It's like 2 a.m.
Yeah, exactly what I was going to say.
Yeah. I want to say Thursday at 2, or I guess it's Friday at 2 a.m., like Thursday night, Friday morning at 2 a.m.
I think it might be, but the important clarification is that it's Friday 2 a.m. when you're alone. So
Yeah, totally.
You're not in a club.
No. That's why it's not the weekend. That's why it's not Saturday 2 a.m.
Oh, Friday morning.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, Thursday night into Friday morning.
That's honestly, most of my life is like me awake alone at 2 a.m.
I feel like it's you just being like, like whether you're trying to sleep but having thoughts about V-neck t-shirts,
right,
or you're awake still like working on something.
I worked till like 1 or 2 a.m. every single night this week, and then last night I put myself to bed at midnight, and I was feeling so healthy and responsible, and then I ended up crying until 2, just alone in bed.
Once it was 2, it was the time of day that's you, and you were like, okay, I can rest now.
Literally, I cried till like 1:45, and then I got out of bed. And I was like, I think I've been crying for an hour, and it'd been like an hour and a half. Aww. And then I was like, now it's time to take some melatonin. And then I finally went to sleep at 2.
Yeah, you're the melatonin pop-in time. You're like
the time that you give up on your body's ability to put itself to sleep, and you take some pills. That's the time
you.
Of the day.
We're both like on the cusp of something, you know.
On the cusp of wellness and on the cusp of joy.
Wellness and joy are like the two things that people are pursuing the most.
I'm really touched that we knew it was 2 a.m. That's exactly what I was going to say.
Okay.
All right.
Great
Good question.
So cheers.
Cheers to us.
Your coffee has been making me nervous by your feetsies.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Okay. It's fine.
Okay.
You should be more nervous when it's up on a table and I can knock it over. I'm nervous about spilling it onto someone's laptop.
What do you say? Do we wrap?
I think we fucking wrap.
Okay. Tell them the stuff. Tell them what they need to know.
First of all, I want you to know that this and every episode is edited by our sweet romantic love, Prince Abby Newhouse. You can find her on Instagram at Abby Newhouse. Abby spelled A-B-I.
Yeah.
Newhouse.
She's edgy like that.
She has a podcast of her own. She's a brilliant writer. She writes for District Frame magazine. You can see her works of journalism, and she's also a great audio editor. And a beloved
This is all
friend,
correct.
A beloved
she's the true sweetie pie. And yeah, it was a delight to meet her, a delight to know her. To know her is to love her. Prince Abby. Thank you for all you do.
Yeah, we love Prince Abby. But you can find us on Instagram, Not For Everyone Pod, with the number 4, Not For Everyone Pod. We also be on YouTube. We're gonna have a different kind of YouTube video this week, which is filmed on my camera. It's not gonna be this every week, but it's just because we're together.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's gonna be fucking.
And hopefully
sweet as hell.
we'll have chances to do it more and more often.
I know.
So, yeah.
Eventually, we're gonna move in together.
Yeah, we are.
I know.
Whenever you describe like being sad at night or not being able to fall asleep, I like envision myself just getting into your bed and cuddling you.
Fuck you. That's so nice. That's so
I
nice.
want to take care of you.
I feel like we should say that people did, according to Jess, who relayed the messages to me, people sent in a lot of very helpful and thoughtful DMs about my night terrors, which they sent to Jess, and she filtered and gave me the takeaways from the helpful ones. I also had some friends weigh in, and I do think ultimately it's just a general anxiety I have, like a lack of safety that I have in my own home right now.
Yeah.
And it's just translating to my version of nightmares.
Yeah.
When I go to sleep.
Yeah.
But it was people wrote in very, very helpful,
very
thoughtful, kind things. So I really appreciated that.
Yeah. I truly like all of my DMs. I have like 4 people being like, Jess, the thing you said made me laugh, and then 30 people being like, for Caroline, this is what she needs to do. So we do appreciate. Appreciate.
And I will say this: when I went on my solo trip, I didn't have a single nightmare.
And now that you're back,
and now that I'm back, I haven't either. I have been crying myself to sleep, but I haven't had.
Is that progress or is it worse?
No,
I can't tell.
I'll take it.
You sleep.
Yeah,
so it's good.
I'll just sleep, and it's just sleep time. But I haven't had any nightmares. I think I had a good reset. And it was such a positive effect for me coming back. I think, So,
mental shift.
Yeah, I've had like 2 weeks without a demon possessing me.
It's all I want to hear in this life.
Yeah.
All right. We'll see you guys soon. Thanks for being here. I never know where to look when when this camera's here.
See a professional. We're not a professional.
No, we're not. Go get help.
Go get help.
Okay, kisses.
You need help. You need help. What if we make that the tagline of this podcast? You need help.
And
we can provide it
too. Okay, bye.
Bye. Where do we turn it off?